Okay, so Treehouse. I was sucked into this movie because it has an amazing cover. There's like a treehouse and there's kids dead hanging from it. It's like the greatest poster ever, and everybody agrees on that. The movie starts off, and there's, of course, this weird looking kid who's getting picked on by other kids, like, really bad. Like, don't teachers do anything? I really get mad about that. It's like teachers just turn a blind eye and are like, yeah, well, whatever, he's gonna get whooped on or something. He's a wimp. I'm like, God, social Darwinism at its finest in horror movies. So, and of course, he's got this cool brother who comes out and beats the other kids up. Then, of course, his cool brother is like, man, so there's been a bunch of murderings happening around, and we all got a curfew, so what's the best thing to do? Let's go have a party out in the woods! And he's like, my brother, who of course gets beat up by the same people I'm going to be hanging out with, let's bring him to the woods too. Okay, and I got an even better idea. It's November, everything is dried out, everything is easily flammable, so let's bring fireworks into the woods to set off. Yay. Okay, and of course the kid's got a dirt bike. How do kids in movies get dirt bikes? I don't understand how that happens. Like, my parents would have been like, fuck you, go get your own damn dirt bike. So, I don't get how that happens. But anyway, so he's got a dirt bike, of course. And they're driving around, and they haul way out in the middle of nowhere. And they go into the woods, and they've got walkie-talkies. Walkie-talkies, because there's, of course, no cell phone reception, because they don't have Verizon. So, walkie-talkies, and he's just waiting. He's like, yo, Jim Bob, you Bob out there? Anybody go out there? Anybody go hear me? And nobody, of course, is responding, but he's like, whatever. I love me, brother. And they decide to hang out and shoot fireworks off, which, amazingly, they're on a curfew in the town. Why would you want to go into the woods underage, bring a bunch of beer and whatever else and fireworks to light off, to let everybody know where you're partying in the woods? God, and there's a killer on the loose because there's already been dead kids found. Fuck. So, aside from the fact that the parents in this town obviously suck ass, the kids are out there, and then they're shooting fireworks up, and then they see a treehouse, and they're like, wow, how did we not see this gigantic treehouse in the top of the tree when it was light out? I don't know. But at night, it was very visible, so of course, what would anybody do but climb up into it? To be fair, though, if I saw a huge treehouse up in a tree, I would definitely climb up and check it out. I'd be like, fuck yeah! So they get up there, and who do they find? A missing girl. The girl who has apparently disappeared from her house, and her little brother disappeared into the woods as well. She's in the beginning of it, but whatever, that doesn't matter. None of this matters. And the girl's all messed up, and she's like, I ain't eaten in like 3 days. And I don't know where this movie's filmed at, 'cause she's got one hell of a southern accent, and the rest of them kind of do. The brother is like, shit, I'm gonna go and get help. So here's the walkie-talkie, and the other brother, the stupid one, is all like, well, what am I gonna do? He's like, you're gonna wait here and die, because the people who did this to her are obviously still out here, and I'm gonna go get help while you guys get murdered. So brother takes off. The girl and the kid are hanging out, and then she's saying like, oh, these people are still in the woods, and this is when I start to get terrified that this is a stuck-in-the-box movie. I hate stuck-in-the-box movies. Did I ever tell you I hate stuck-in-the-box movies? I fucking hate stuck-in-a-box movies. Where you're, like, in a room and you can't get out, and everybody's, like that, what is it, Devil? The one where everybody's stuck in an elevator. It's so obvious who that you... But... anyways, they're in there and they're talking and reflecting on life and whatnot. And then you find out she's a hypoglycemic, so she's going to turn into a real bitch pretty soon if she doesn't get some crackers. And then they start to hear sounds of people approaching. And then you hear from the party goers on the walkie-talkies. And they're like, oh shit, there's people in the woods who are stalking us. I don't think this was a good idea. It wasn't a good idea from the get-go. Everybody was dying. Why would you go out into the woods? He's talking to the kids on the walkie-talkie. And then, of course they end up getting slaughtered. But we don't see any of that, of course. Long story, blah, blah, blah. People are dead. All the other kids are dead. Whoever's stalking him comes back by the treehouse. and they just stand in the open doorway of the treehouse, which I think is cool. It was one of the creepier shots of the whole movie. And I liked it. It was kind of neat. But he doesn't go in the treehouse though. And I'm like, why? Why wouldn't you just go in the treehouse? You heard noises from up there. You heard the walkie-talkie going off, but he just kind of stands up there like a Blue Man Group guy. So I don't really understand why he wouldn't go in, because it was obviously a treehouse they created to, or it was already there and they made it so they could drag people in it and torture them in it. Well, anyways, another day goes by and they decide, well, we got to get the fuck out of here. So as they take off through the woods, they're being chased by these things, kind of, and then they just stop and take a break in the woods and they're not going to be found. Okay. But the thing is, they head out and they of course are following a trail of smoke that they find. And once they find this house, it's probably, you think, oh yay, we're saved now, civilization. And then they go in, there's like a little rape room in it, which is really creepy. And then you find dead pictures of the girl's brother in there too, and it's just like, fuck. And then you find the dude's dead brother is like crucified out there. And then there's a dead lady upstairs. Sounds great, not a lot. Yeah, then the people come back, and this is where it really gets shitty, because you think that it's a supernatural entity, but it's not. They're just like hill folk. By the way, who have a really nice house that they just didn't keep up very well, or hang a lot of stuff other than like weird shit in the rape room. So as they go back, they're like, okay, well, we're trying to hide from the fucking weirdos that are coming after us and shit. Hold on, drink. So there's this guy who's all limpy and shit, and he's the guy you think is a superhero. You think he's supernatural or some shit, but he's not. He's just got a limp because they're obviously inbred or something. There's a big homunculus guy, and they end up getting chased around by him. Blah 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 blah. And towards the end of it, they run up and they find a road finally, and you're like, "Woo, yeah, road!" The state trooper guy comes by, and then I don't know what, he sees the kids, and he's all like, "But kids!" And he, of course, runs off the side of the road, crashes his car, and he's dead. I mean, like, dead. Just hits the side of the road, and he's dead. I don't understand how that happens. And here's what happens. They're sitting there like, what should we do? I'm like, pull his fucking body out and get in the goddamn truck and see if it still runs. Come on. No, of course not. But they walk around the back of the truck, and amazingly, the tailgate goes... And what's in the back of it? What's in the back of every state trooper's truck? Obviously automatic weapons. But they reach in and they're like, all right, man, let's get these automatic weapons out. And then they stand there and they say, well, we're going to go in and finish this. They're just going to keep doing it if we don't take care of it. I'm like, don't take care of it. Oh man, what if we go to jail? And then the girl goes, I'll wait for you if we go to jail. Like, why would you go to jail? You're defending yourselves. They're trying to murder you. They killed people, lots of people. But no. And then they're like, all like commandoed up and everything. Then they walk into the woods and roll credits. I was hoping that was where the movie finally got good.